Friends come in all sizes, that's a fact, it's true. All the colors of the rainbow from mauve to blue. The names are different, the shoes don't match. Some like to toss and others to catch.
We're doing Death to Smoochy.
That was a terrible rendition. Terrible. Oof.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I'm Mike Field.
And you're watching or listening to Forgotten Cinema. Each episode, we highlight a film. Each episode, we highlight a film that, for a variety of reasons, was forgotten by audiences. Whether it be because a more popular movie was released at the same time, or the audience simply didn't catch on with a film in its initial run. We'll discuss what you love about the movie, maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. You never know; you might find your own forgotten gem. If you enjoy Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you. We're available on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Twitter, not Twitter anymore. Facebook,
Twitter.
TikTok. That's the thing with the T.
Yep.
We're available on all platforms with a backlog of over 275 episodes, creeping on 300.
Well, I think we're at 300
for
at this
your
point.
pleasure.
What's going on?
Nothing. I heard Rainbow Randolph. He got arrested by the FCC. His show's off the air, so I thought I'd take my character Smoochy.
He got arrested by the FCC. FBI.
Was it the FBI? I thought
the FCC doesn't do stings.
I thought that's why it was funny. I
okay.
FCC on
I don't know that. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Yes.
But yeah, I thought, I was, singing to all the people at the methadone clinic with my character Smoochy. And then I got the invitation to go to the big time. And I found out that, big time kids television isn't all it's cracked up to be. There's a lot of messed up stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Not to mention the fact that Rainbow Randolph is out to kill me.
Yeah, we're going to say Rainbow Ralph. I've been saying it already. Awesome. Yes, we are doing Death to Smoochy, and a movie that I had seen that Butler did not, which is...
I've seen it.
Oh, I thought you had never seen it.
No, I've seen it before.
Oh, well, there we go. It's a different episode now. So yeah, we're going to do that. Let's get into the facts, and then obviously our movie discussion. Death to Smoochy has a runtime of 109 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $50 million. It came out on Friday, March 29th, 2002. Its opening weekend, it did 4.3 million. Domestic, 8.3. Its international take was 18,000. So the worldwide is pretty much 8.3. Not a hit. Obviously not a hit. I think that's a well-known fact. Production companies were Film 4, Senator International, and Mad Chance Productions. And then was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures in the United States, and in the UK it was distributed by Film 4. So I said it came out on the 29th. So it went up. Let's go back a week to the 22nd, where you had a wide release of the 20th anniversary of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I don't know if you knew that, Butler.
Was that the one when he edited all the guns out for walkie-talkies? Or did that come after?
This is 90. This is 2002. No, I think this might be. I think this might be that. Yeah, I don't like that.
No, me neither.
I mean, to be fair, the Blu-ray did come out with both versions, so I was okay with that.
Yeah, the version I own now has the original, yeah. No, I'm not a fan. Anyways, also that week you had Blade 2 and Sorority Boys, which is an episode. That's Butler's thing. That's my job.
Sorry. And Sorority Boys.
Episode we did on the podcast.
Right there. There you go. Okay. The week that Death of Smoochy came out, it went up against Panic Room, which I think is on our list.
It is on our list, yeah.
Clock Stoppers and The Rookie, and a limited release of No Such Thing.
Which one's The Rookie?
The Rookie is with Dennis Quaid, where he's the pitcher.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Someone will tell me I'm wrong.
He's the older pitcher.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
April 5th, a wide release of High Crimes, Van Wilder, and Big Trouble, and then a limited release of, I guess it was a re-release of the director's cut of Amadeus, which I had never seen. I saw Amadeus. I never saw the director's cut.
Amadeus.
No,
Thank you, Amadeus. No, not that Amadeus.
No, that Amadeus, yeah. This film was directed by Danny DeVito. You right over there? You need to...
I'm okay. It was starting to fall down.
Okay. This film was directed by Danny DeVito. He's directed Throw Mama from the Train, Matilda, and Hoffa, to name a few, written by Adam Resnick, who wrote Cabin Boy, Lucky Numbers, and he's more of a TV show writer for Late Night with David Letterman. Cinematographer was Anastas Mikos, who's done Mona Lisa Smile, The First Purge, and The Big Kahuna. Composer was David Newman, who was nominated for an Oscar for Anastasia. He's also done Galaxy Quest and Serenity, the Serenity that we like, not the Matthew McConaughey
the
film.
movie we did on the podcast.
There you go. Edited by John Pohl, who's done Meet the Parents, The Greatest Showman, and The Campaign. Produced by Andrew Lazar and Peter McGregor Scott. Lazar is actually Mad Chat Productions, which I mentioned before. Nominated for an Oscar for American Sniper, which was nominated for Best Picture. He also did Space Cowboys and Mordecai. And McGregor Scott has done Batman and Robin and Perfect Murder, to name a couple. This film stars Robin Williams. Our first Robin Williams film?
No, we did the... that was for Pint. Toys or whatever.
Toys was for Pint.
Then this might be our first Robin Williams
first
film.
Robin Williams film on the show. All right. He plays Rainbow Ralph. Excuse me, I said it. He plays Rainbow Randolph. I told you I'm going to say Ralph.
Rainbow Randolph.
I'm going to say Ralph. He plays Rainbow Randolph. He's in Good Will Hunting, The Fisher King.
That is on our list.
What's that?
The Fisher King, yeah.
I should tell you that I'm screwing this up already. He won an Oscar for Good Will Hunting. You are. You know that? And he was nominated for an Oscar for The Fisher King, Dead Poet Society, and Good Morning Vietnam. You had Edward Norton as Sheldon Mopes, also Smoochy the Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
He's been nominated for 4 Oscars, Butler. Can you name them? I'll give you a hint. One of them is this year. Is the one coming up, which is, I'm sure, as people are watching this, it's already been out. He might have won. I don't know. So if he won, congratulations. If you're not, hey, it's great to be nominated.
He was in something this year?
Oh, my goodness.
It wasn't the Timothée Chalamet.
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
So.
Complete unknown.
Completely unknown.
A complete unknown.
A complete unknown.
Okay. He's nominated for one of his big breakout movies, first big film.
The one where he's the murderer guy in prison. I don't remember the name.
Okay, first of all. Oh, hold on. You're talking about American History X?
No.
Okay.
Where he's in prison.
Yeah. You just revealed the spoiler for that.
Oh, we spoil movies all the time.
Primal Fear.
It's a 35-year-old and 40-year-old.
Primal Fear with Richard Gere. And you've seen that one?
No, I've never. I
Really?
want to see Primal Fear, but I've never seen it.
You would like that film because it's like a classic.
I've seen a couple of clips of him in it, and it looks.
It's
really
like one of those classic 90s courtroom
drama thing. Yeah,
you would like it.
It looked really good from what I've seen.
Okay, so that's 2.
He wasn't nominated. Was he nominated for Kingdom of Heaven?
No,
for his mask guy, because everyone talks about how good he is in that.
I said the movie to you.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, when I suggested it to you, when Edward Furlong's in it, I just said it.
Oh, American History X.
Yeah, and then it was like maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer, 7, pre-pandemic. Birdman.
He was nominated for that role? I mean, he's good in it, but okay.
Yeah, he's funny in that.
Everyone's good in Birdman.
Yeah.
Which we did do on the podcast?
No, we did not do Birdman. Okay. We've talked about it a couple times because I think it's around certain films.
Right, yeah.
Catherine Keener plays Nora Wells, who is one of the executives at Kidnet, right? Is it called Kidnet?
I believe it's Kidnet, yeah.
And she becomes Smoochy's love interest. She has been nominated for 2 Oscars, one for Capote and Being John Malkovich, and then she's also in Live in Oblivion,
a movie we did 5 seasons ago.
She also did what's the other movie we did? Begin Again. She's in as well.
Yes,
Catherine Keener's I believe a New York based actress, so she is in a lot of indies. I've seen her in a lot of New York based films, a lot of indie stuff.
Yeah, every time I see her, I'm like, I know her, and then I look her up and I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I am.
40-Year-Old Virgin. Well. Yep. Danny DeVito is in this film. He plays Burke Bennett. He is Smoochie's or Sheldon's agent, and then he's also kind of the bad guy a little bit. He is in Get Shorty, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and LA Confidential.
Have we never done a Danny DeVito movie either? Is this our first DeVito film?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we have done a DeVito film, but we might not have. I mean, he's in so much.
Right, yeah. He pops up as minor characters here or there, yeah. This
is our first Jon Stewart film. He plays Marion Frank Stokes, who is the head executive at Kidnet.
Right.
Before this is probably like a year or so before he starts doing the Daily Show, which is probably where everyone knows him from. He's also in Big Daddy. He's in Playing by Heart. Pam Ferris is Tommy Cotter. Tommy Cotter is the head of she runs the Irish gang a little bit.
She's a mob boss in the Irish mob who runs a restaurant.
She is in Matilda. She plays Trunchbull in Matilda.
That is Trunchbull?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. She's also in Children of Men and the TV show called The Midwife. Danny Woodburn as Angelo Pike. Which one was that? Oh, he plays
Angela's
he's his buddy. Yeah, but Rainettes. He also
Rainbow Randolph's friend.
I know him as Mickey from Seinfeld.
Yep.
He's also in Jingle All the Way. Michael Rispoli as Spinner Dunn. I mean,
Oh my God. I'm like, this is the same guy from Two Family House.
I'm sorry, but like he just makes me laugh in this movie. Anyways, he's in The Weatherman, Two Family House, both 2 episodes we did, right?
Yep,
And Summer of Sam. You see Summer of Sam?
No, only parts.
Yeah.
I watched it on TV back when it was on.
Yeah.
I had cable at my parents' house.
Okay.
But like on and off that day.
TV
So it's like,
Summer of Sam is
Yeah.
probably not ideal.
it probably wasn't great.
No. You had Harvey Fierstein as Merv Green, who is the head of, I guess, the bogus
Project Hope or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a bogus
Kids hospital place.
Yeah, donation charity, and they skim off the top basically. He's in Independence Day 4. Jesus, was it ID 4? Independence Day and Bullets Over Broadway, and then Vincent Schiavelli. He plays Buggy Ding Dong, who's the guy at the end who is asked to kill him. He's a heroin addict in the movie. He's in Ghost, Fast Time at Ridgemont High, and a movie that we did last season, Night Shift. I was waiting for you to say Night Shift.
Oh, he is in Night Shift. That's
Remember,
right.
we screwed it up. We screwed up who his name was. I called him Stephen Wright like a moron. We got called out for it, even though I said I knew I did it wrong. Anyways,
anytime I just see him, I just think of him yelling at Patrick Swayze.
Oh, and he's the angry dude. Teach me how to do that. I'm not gonna do that.
That's worthless.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the facts. Not a lot of facts in terms of
the making of the film.
Yeah, I've got some stuff, but nothing big. So I think this might be a viewing movie discussion heavy, like what we thought kind of episode, which are always good. Where would you like to kick it off?
Yeah, so I don't know. You thought I hadn't seen the film before, so
yeah,
that's interesting.
Fine. That's fine.
Have you seen the film? How many times have you seen Death is Smoochy before?
Obviously in the theater, and then probably maybe a couple scenes here or there. Nothing, not straight through.
I saw it once on like HBO or Cinemax, and then I'd seen it bits and pieces on like Comedy Central throughout the years, but I probably haven't seen anything from the movie in about 10-15 years.
Okay. So, did you like it when you first watched it?
I loved it when I first watched it. That was probably my first dark comedy I ever watched.
Okay.
Knowing it was kind of a dark comedy. So it was very like eye-opening to me that there could be like movies like that are comedies, but also not like, obviously I'd seen messed up comedies, but comedies where it's so dark and so
like Very Bad Things.
Like, yeah, but I hadn't seen any of the movies like that before. So
right. Like dark comedies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of eye-opening to me. So I really liked it back in the day. It's different than I remember. Like there's some things that I thought happened that didn't happen in the movie.
Okay.
Mostly revolving around Rainbow Randolph and his redemption.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I still really like this movie. I think it's not really like a laugh out loud movie, but it's so fun. It's really enjoyable, and it's less dark than I remember. But I still really enjoyed this watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I was laughing out. There was only one line that I laughed out loud at. I know I don't want to start us doing lines, but I'm still gonna do it. It's the Spinner line when he's in the restaurant. He's like, "Hey, don't go anywhere. I gotta go take a dump."
He's going, yes.
I was just like, it was to me. That's funny. I don't know. I really like Michael Rispoli in this film because he's just such.
He goes for it.
Yeah,
he goes for it 110%.
Yeah. And it's I'm gonna
go to the locker room, change all my clothes, and you. Okay, bye.
He's really good in it. Anyways, so yeah, no, but it's funny. I don't my one, because obviously when we watch it for the show, we kind of take a more critical eye to it, or just maybe not like poke holes at something that we don't like, but just like what we notice or what we're feeling at the time. The one note that I had was that I felt like everything feels really fast. Like everything just like the movie starts. You got the Rainbow Randolph song. Boom, he's in trouble. But like everything just like they are on to Smoochy the Rhino like in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, that surprised me too. I don't remember it being him getting his show that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I was really just like, and I don't know necessarily if that's a complaint on my part. It was just something I felt like when you watch movies, sometimes you just feel rushed, right? Because of the way the movie's being just, played out, the way the story's being told. And I just felt rushed a little bit, that I was just like running into it. And that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. That's what I felt. I don't know if you thought that was if it's a negative or. I
thought that was a positive in terms of getting to Smoochy.
Right.
But I thought that was a negative in terms of some of Rainbow Randolph stuff. Mm-hmm. I feel like Robin Williams just kind of was very rushed in what like he was trying to do. Mm-hmm. It just felt like he was trying to present so there's so many sides to Rainbow Randolph that could be explored. And it's just like, gotta get revenge, gotta do this. My scene's over. Let's go back to Smoochy. Like he almost like was like a little like chapter like in between the main story.
Well, like what is the overall story and theme to this movie? Is it just taking the piss on kids behind, kid shows type stuff, or what is the theme?
I think the theme is that you have to be aware that the world is imperfect, but that you can like Sheldon does, you can make a dent in it. Like you can still be good, but you can't be oblivious to the fact that it's not all good all the time. Like I think that's supposed to be it, but that your kindness affects people. And like he got the help from the Irish mob. He ended up getting Catherine Keener's character. He ends up befriending Rainbow Randolph finally at the end. So I think like his kindness is an asset. And I think that that's kind of the theme, even in this super dark world that he inhabits. And that's what I remember it being so dark. But I think Sheldon's light really shines through this movie. And I think that helps it from becoming either just too bleak and becoming something different than, now that I've seen more dark comedies, other dark comedies like it.
A lot of dark comedies tend to just stay dark without any kind of
redemption or lesson.
Yeah, I mean, there's usually your dark comedies usually have your lead who is kind of mired in that muck as well, and then maybe either gets out of it by chance to learn a lesson. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
So, but dark comedies really don't have too many rules in terms of 3-act structure or 5-act structure or character arcs for every single character. I mean, sometimes they're just crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
dark comedy is a very vague term too.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's something I think we, the viewers, created to term these films. But I don't think, maybe now writers go, I'm going to make a dark comedy, but I don't think anyone, especially back Death to Smoochy's time, really sat down and went, I'm going to make a quote unquote dark comedy. They're probably just like, I'm going to make this comedy, and it, veers on a seedy side.
Well, when you say dark comedy, what are you thinking of?
Death to Smoochy, the Paul Rudd, Rachel Weisz movie we just watched. Or not just watched, but we watched.
The Shape of Things?
Shape of Things. Throw Mama from the Train.
Yeah.
A lot of Danny DeVito stuff.
Shape of Things, I don't know if that's dark comedy, because I think that's more of it's.
Do you think that's a drama?
It's not really a comedy. Yeah. It's
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think some of the situations are absurd or funny.
I said Very Bad Things.
Very Bad Things.
To do in Denver When You're Dead. Like dark comedies, like there's the stuff that happens to them, like the stuff is really like awful, but you're laughing at it
regardless
of the way it's portrayed. So like you're almost embarrassed to laugh at it. To your point, a lot of things are labeled as a dark comedy and they really are not.
That could be, yeah. Okay.
But I hear you. So you talked about Sheldon. And I wanted to talk about characters because you talked about his arc, and we can talk about him first if you want.
Sure, yeah.
I want to talk about the ending because I know the ending of the movie when he has the gun, and it almost is like a complete switch, and that he's going to use the gun. And I know why he gets to that anger point. I know it's so that he can be pulled back and reminded of who he is.
Right.
The other people. I get that. And that works in and of itself. But the motivation for him to just like all of a sudden he's gonna load this gun and have it because he's just gonna flip out on Burke. You know what I mean? Like just out of nowhere felt a little forced, even though I understand the scene is a nice scene when they kind of bring him back.
Well, what part do you think is forced? Him taking the gun or him getting to that breaking point where he points the gun? Because I think those are two very different things.
Well, the scene where when he finds out like what's happening, like Randolph tells him,
and he just got,
and all of a sudden he starts, you don't know, I don't, and he starts, I'm like, I don't, why are you this mad?
That I agree with. Yeah. I thought that should have been Randolph giving him the gun, being like, listen, no, I've been in this world long enough. Like, take this gun. You need the gun. Take it. Because I think he's fully justified, and his breaking point hits getting shot in the head after rewatching, oh my God.
Moochie
go to heaven. It's just like, that's a breaking point for him. Cause I feel like, he's ice skating, but you can see it's all affecting him. So I think that is justified, but I didn't think him taking the gun was justified. I think the gun should have been forced into his hands, kind of. Please take this. I'm begging you, take the gun just in case.
And we talked about this before we started the podcast on the side, but like, let's talk about it now. The whole backstory of Sheldon is never really explained. He talks about how he takes anger management classes,
or he took anger management classes in college,
but you never get the idea, like what's his story. And I know that you can get bits and pieces of it from the movie itself, from the songs that he sings. Like he sings the stepdad song, and he's talking about like, you know, if your stepdad, you know, like, oh,
he's ever abusive, 911.
Yeah. So they talk about that, like that could be a hint.
Plus the methadone clinic, I think, is a hint as well.
Yeah,
his like complete obsession with like helping those people.
Right. He almost calls, like the scene when he almost calls Nora a bitch.
Yep.
And he stops himself. The scene when he is when they have I think when he gets back from the Nazi rally that he is tricked into going to.
Oh, and then he's eating the cheeseburger and drinking a Pepsi.
No, not even that. No, when he's screaming, when he does at the show.
Oh, after the howl. And he's like, ah!
Yeah, exactly. So I think like that kind of stuff is kind of supposed to be indicative of what he came from. But like, do we need to know exactly what that is?
I would have liked to have known a little bit more, because I think that helps to know that, you know, Sheldon has a darkness in him that he overcame. So it's not just that the world is dark around him, but like you can be like, he fixed himself, and he's fixing Rainbow Randolph, and he's fixing Nora, and like even the Irish mob. Like he's helping all these people, and obviously befriending Spinner.
Well, that's why Tommy and the mob loves him, because he likes Spinner.
Like Spinner, and he
treated
Spinner
on the show, and
But I think all that, I think another line, just a little bit more would help. I don't need a whole thing, but like maybe Nora and him are out to dinner and he says a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Because that throwaway line of, I was forced to take anger management, not even that he took them, he was mandated or forced to take anger management classes.
Right.
He says
something happened.
It's like, I want to know. You can't just spring that on me. Let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And even when he's telling the story about how he was growing up and him and Nora bonded on the whatever show they watched,
Rupert or something like that.
And so like, okay, so then more that's the moment where you could put it in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So other than Sheldon, who else did you like in terms of, you know, their character?
I mean, I like Rainbow Randolph. I think that there just needs to be more. Like I love Robin Williams, and I think America loves Robin. I think the world loves Robin Williams. So I'm not saying anything anybody doesn't know. He's great in this movie. I want him. He's so unhinged pretty quickly. Or not maybe pretty quickly. It gets worse as it goes. But I think his redemption is just so fast. And I think just a little bit more time would help. I love the scene when he's driving Sheldon to the Nazi rally, the secret Nazi rally. And he's like, that Rainbow Randolph guy, what a scumbag, right? And Sheldon's like, no, I think he had a lot of demons, but I think he did some great work on the TV and stuff like that. And he's trying to goad him into insulting Rainbow Randolph.
Yeah.
And I think he's gay too. And obviously he's got sexuality issues.
He kept saying that because at the end when Sheldon's got the gun on him, he's like, Ray, you're going through a tough time and I suspect some sexual identity issues.
And Robin Williams just goes, I think that I just think Robin Williams need a little bit more time with it. I like in the scenes to get there. I think he almost gets there I love the scene with the little girl. I love that
when he puts the gasoline on.
When he puts the gasoline and she blows at the match and she says like, don't do it. And then I also love obviously that it turns and he gets Smoochy picks her up again, but like that affected him. But then he turns so much, and you have to have it for the finale of the movie. He turns again, rips up the picture when he finds out that Sheldon and Nora are a couple. But I just think that the conversation they have in the apartment is just like or the penthouse just goes from, I'm going to kill you, to he gets the gun. Shoot me. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Then maybe we can be friends. I just want a little bit more there.
Okay.
Just in a little bit in like the middle and at the end, his redemption arc. Because I remember it being a little bit more fleshed out than what it is.
Okay. I mean, I don't remember too much of. I knew that they were going back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't remember a lot of the film.
Right.
But like that's in my mind, I remembered Rainbow Randolph being a bigger part or having more scenes.
Okay. Fair.
But I enjoyed his arc. I like that he gets a redemption, because I think in other dark comedies, Rainbow Randolph dies. Like at some point, he teams up, he gets killed.
Yeah,
there's no real redemption arc for him. Or if there is, it's him taking a bullet.
This movie's made today. is the Nazi rally in the movie?
I mean, if this movie's made today, Smoochy's a Nazi, and that's good.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
No. At this point in time, it hits too close to home. It's too much Nazi stuff now. I don't think it's as funny now. I think he goes to a KKK rally.
Well, that's the same thing. Kind of. It's the same thing.
But yeah, I mean, also
in Blues Brothers, they're being chased by that Nazi chapter.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think you also don't have it because I don't think there's any coming back from it nowadays for Rainbow Randolph. Like once he does that, sends Smoochy to the Nazi rally, you have to kill off Rainbow Randolph because that's so low. I think nowadays for audiences, you'd have to get rid of Rainbow Randolph somehow. He'd have to die or he'd have to go to jail.
Well, my only counter to that is, again, what I said before, dark comedy. It doesn't matter. Like that's
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, I mean, you talk about Very Bad Things. Like they do like a lot of bad things in that movie.
I understand.
So,
but Very Bad Things isn't about, if it follows the theme, if what I'm saying is correct in my assertion that it's about redemption and finding the light in all the darkness, then Rainbow Randolph needs to get redeemed at the end.
He saves the day, stops the assassination.
But if he's the guy that sent Smoochy to a Nazi rally, Rainbow Randolph,
he was in a bad place, and the fact that if Sheldon can forgive him, then we should be able to forgive him as well.
I don't disagree.
But
your question was,
yeah, I know.
If for modern,
well,
like nowadays,
I think
20
my
years
question
later
is a little loaded because you're going to have filmmakers that are afraid to do it. You're going to have filmmakers that aren't, you know what I mean, are not good enough. They wouldn't even go that far. I mean, with comedy, I've said this, when you're writing comedy, I remember having this conversation with somebody and he talks about like when he was writing comedy, or it wasn't gross out comedy, it was just comedy.
Right.
And he puts guardrails on everything he writes. Oh, I can't do that. And no, that's not right. That's not wrong. I can't do that. Like, it's not, not that it wasn't funny, but he felt it was inappropriate, whatever. And my argument to him was like, if you don't put everything down in your first draft, I'm not saying you can't take it out, but like,
oh yeah, your first draft.
You have to know
vomit of
if
ideas.
It works. 100%. Yeah, I mean, if you can make it work in a way, then and it works out all the great for the best. That's great. I mean,
it's like acting too. It's like go loud, and you can always pull back. Same with writing.
Right. So I think I'm saying that I think that it would be self-edited out by a creator because I don't think that they would really have the want to or would have the confidence to do that, to put that in there.
Yeah.
But then my question would be like, well, then what are you doing? What's Randolph doing to besmirch Smoochy? I
always thought that he set Smoochy up a couple more times. Like he really only does the two things and then decides to just off himself with the gasoline. I like a dick cookie and then sending Smoochy to a Nazi rally are like, those are huge extremes. There's nothing in the middle there.
It's a penis.
It's a rocket ship. It's not a rocket ship. It's a penis. I think John. Willie. I just think there should be more, maybe like he's such a cartoon character. Why not make him more Wile E. Coyote to Smoochy's Roadrunner? Just set him up a couple more times.
Man, that makes sense.
I mean, obviously the Nazi thing's a big thing. So if you do a couple smaller things, maybe it'll make up for that.
There is, I have a quote from DeVito that talks about this film, kind of when it was in 2023, and he was doing an interview with the AV Club, and he was talking about, because I think when this film came out, obviously it didn't make a lot of money.
Right.
I liked it when it came out. I think a lot of people liked it, and I think it has like a cult following a little bit.
100%. Yeah. It's got definitely a cult hit now.
So his quote is like, I think people did get a lot out of Death to Smoochy, and the people who have seen it have responded in a big way. The studio didn't get Death to Smoochy. I can understand that. They have done this in the past to lots of movies where they don't really promote them and put them out there. Yes, which we've talked about on the show. But if you watch Death to Smoochy, you're going to have a ball. It's fun. Edward Norton is great. Williams is great. All the people in the movie, Catherine Keener, it really is a fun movie. And that's accurate. I mean, it's everybody is, there's not a character in the film that is not funny. Like everybody is on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even like Buggy Ding Dong, Vincent Schiavelli, when he shows up and he sits down and he's like, excuse me if I smell like piss. You know how it is.
He falls asleep. Yeah. I thought you were clean. Yeah, cleaned up all the poppy in Asia.
He gets the pretzel salt. Well, I'm sorry, all our pretzels are saltless.
He's eating and he falls something in his mouth mid-chew.
That reminds me of the guy in the fourplex who came into the fourplex when I was working as a employee and was eating a cheeseburger from McDonald's and just straight fell asleep mid-cheeseburger eat. And it was all out of his mouth. Did I never tell you this?
No.
He was like, so the lobby's not that big. It's like it's maybe from here to like that wall kind of. And I'm behind the counter and I just look over there and it's an older man and he's just sitting there and his head's down and he's got the cheeseburger.
Oh, he's in the lobby?
He's in the lobby. He's got he was eating like a McDonald's cheeseburger. And he's eating it. It's down his face, and I'm just like, what the heck am I? Like, I thought he was dead, and I was like, oh my god, this dude just died in the lobby, and I was like young, so we were like, hey, and we're like clapping, and he finally, before he woke up, he was like, oh, he walked off and left. What the hell was that?
Nice.
I never told you that.
No.
Did I ever tell you about the Con Air one? Did I ever tell you about the guy that came into we had a guy that came into the lobby. This could be a whole episode. And we had a Con Air standee, and it's just all of them. The Con Air standee was like Nicolas Cage in the front, and then all the guys behind him, like, you know,
right,
all of them. And they're just saying, and the guy was like looking at the standee, and he's like looking at it, and he's like going back and forth. He's like, he's looking at it, going back and forth, and then and I'm watching him. We're all watching him do this, and then he's like looking at the lights, he's like, fuck you, and he flips off the standee and runs and walks out of the building. We're like, what the hell was that?
Gonna trash talk me, Cage? You gonna trash talk me?
I have dozens of stories like that from the theater.
The theater's a crazy place to work.
It's not even that the fourplex where I worked. It's not even that it's the theater. It's the fact that it was off on the post road. So it was like
anybody could walk.
These are walk-ins from the post road, just walking into the theater and just like, you know, doing whatever they're doing. So it was not like with Orange where you're kind of tucked away a little bit.
Oh, Orange,
yeah. Or like even the mall. The mall you get the crazy sometimes. But yeah, but it was just odd. It was fun times. Anyway, what were we talking about? Death of Smoochy?
Death of Smoochy.
I wonder if Death of Smoochy played, I think it played in Showcase Milford. I don't think this was
really? It played in the big house?
No, it might not have. It might have been a fourplex film. 2002. I'm not there, so I don't remember. I don't think we played.
You're already in Orange at that point?
Yeah, so I don't think we played it. So I definitely think it was in one of the Milfords. I don't know who I saw it with. Anyways, back to the movie. Back to the rickety rack of the film.
The rickety rack.
That's what he kept saying. That's what Sheldon. Yeah. Oh, the rickety rack of the. All right. Well, let me get into some reviews then. How about that? Let's do that. If I can click on this thing right. Okay. Ebert Butler, your favorite. You're gonna love this. You are gonna love this review, knowing that I know you like this film. This is just gonna set you off. So Ebert, quote, "Only enormously talented people could have made Death the Smoochy." All right, we're off to a good start. "Those with lesser gifts would have lacked the nerve to make a film so bad, so miscalculated, so lacking any connection with any possible audience. To make a film this awful, you have to have enormous ambition and confidence and dream big dreams."
I already knew it was his worst film of 2002.
Yes,
I read that note. Yeah, you know... Ebert, you know, growing up, I was like, oh man, this guy's like the film. He's like the guy. Ebert sucks. I disagree with
Roger.
I don't care.
Whoa. I care. Rest in peace.
He stinks. Like all his takes are just so, I don't know. They're just, I mean, I occasionally have movies where I'm like, this movie sucked. Occasionally. But I hate critics going, it's terrible or it's great. A movie is a movie and it's better than you ever could have done. And it's just like when you go that extreme on anything, it's just kind of like, I get you do it because that's what gets people in your paper. What was he still writing for?
Chicago Sun-Times.
Chicago Sun. Okay.
Well, he probably was doing the show as well.
He probably did the show as well.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just trying to get people watching you. I get it. It's like clickbait and YouTube and stuff like that.
Well,
but
not back then. Well,
it's
that's
similar.
For starting. Yeah.
Right. But it's just like, nothing's that bad.
I think if I was teaching a class in film and cinema, which I'm not, but if I was, and to your point, I think you can definitely say this film sucked, but it would be like, but why did it suck? You can't just say a movie is terrible. You have to be able to understand why you think it's terrible. And it could be a simple fact, like, I just don't believe the performances. I always talk about when we talk, and listen, 20, 30 years ago, I would be like, this movie's awful. F this film, but this, that, the other thing. I'd be, you know, but
when you're young.
But now I talk about like how it just doesn't connect with me. And that happens. Like movies just don't connect with you. And that's fine. So saying it that they suck, absolutely. But always my next question would be like, well, why does it suck?
Yeah.
And if you can't answer that, it's like, then that's not an intelligent film, like a film breakdown or an intelligent film decision. And
that's not an intelligent opinion in general.
Exactly. Yeah. But I knew you were gonna hate that evil.
Stupid. It's just a stupid quote. Plus, even then, he's an older man, and that kind of an opinion from an older man needs substance.
Show some respect.
No.
Todd McCarthy from Variety said, quote, it pushes its dark, smart, clever, cynical, satirical, nasty, provocative, and sarcastic instincts. Satirical and sarcastic, instincts to the point of heavily diminished returns, to the point where the very amusing premise just isn't funny anymore.
I'm pretty sure this just goes to show the point that it's like the kind of like of all these dark comedies that have come out since, that people just don't get it.
Well, a movie that's going to take a risk like Death of Smoochy takes a risk, you're going to get people that are going to push back on it. And it's a movie that you're going to have. I mean, you don't expect it when you put it out at the time, but you want to think that some expectation is people will find this audience will find this film will grow where it needs to grow.
Right.
So but you know, obviously they're not putting out, they're probably thinking, oh, this movie's going to make so much money, you know, but when your studio doesn't believe
Robin Williams, Danny DeVito.
But when your studio watches it and they're just like, what do we do? Where do we do with this? Then you're kind of, you know, you're not being helped. Yeah. I mean, this film would go straight to one of the streamers. If it was Warner Brothers, it'd probably be an HBO Max.
It was Warner Brothers nowadays, and they had the same opinion of it. They would probably write it off. Max. It'd be a write off, like the other, like Batgirl and the Acme Coyote movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is supposedly supposed to be amazing.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out sometime. And then my last one is Jay Oberman from Village Voice. This is a good one.
Okay.
Death of Smoochy is often very funny, but what's even more remarkable is the integrity of DeVito's misanthropic vision. That's another thing too. This movie is directed by the guy who did The War of the Roses. You know what I mean? Like, and what's the other film? And Throw Mama from the Train. Like you already know his. Was Matilda after this?
No, Matilda was before.
You already know his penchant for films like this. Even like Ben Stiller has a penchant for certain types of films he directs. Like, you know that going in.
DeVito's got a darker fighting sense of humor. Yeah.
Like, are you expecting something in earnest? Are you not expecting like the same type of style? Like, this is obviously what DeVito likes. This is the type of movie he's going to direct. You go in, you should know that.
I like that review though, because it is like his vision. It's like, it's very much not a studio film. It goes places and does things that you wouldn't normally see in a studio film, even today.
So I had a couple lines that I said. Do you have any other lines that you like in this film?
Well, I like the fact that the spirulina almond mixture the goop he puts on his hot dog was real. Like, that was Edward. Dog. That was his idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's icky. And his teeth are all black during that scene.
It's great. It's gross. It's disgusting. A couple lines I liked was when he's in the office and they're talking, not the office, when they're talking about what they're going to do, the Irish gang, or what they're going to do to the guys that, I don't know if it's killed Spinner or it was whatever they were saying. And Tommy's like, we're going to cut off their balls and stick them in shove them out and feed it to them or something like that. Right. And he's like, I think that we just need to call the cops. And the guy's like, cops won't do the ball thing. It's against procedure.
Yes. It was at Spinner's funeral.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. Robin Williams had a ton of stuff that was good in it. But the one I liked was when he ripped up the magazine. He's like, I'm going on safari, motherfucker. Safari.
I like the line, I had a woman who was naked woman on the painting with a little bush covering her private parts, and you have your mother. And it's a picture of a rhinoceros.
I just imagine that Robin Williams was just spitballing and riffing the entire movie, just saying, like, when he comes out of the police station at the end, he gets hit with the egg. You're like, salmonella.
Somebody touched my ass. Somebody touched my ass. I like when he's yelling at the TV. He's like, die, you illegitimate Teletubby, you Muppet motherfucker.
I feel like he just let go. Go ahead, do whatever you need to do.
His dance at the end when he thinks he's gotten him and he's dancing through the park.
But yeah, so I mean, and that's fine because that's the kind of Robin Williams we like. So yeah. So I guess this is on who we just talked about, how the sensibilities, we had like a 10-minute conversation about the sensibilities of the modern filmmaker or the modern audience would not take to certain things in this film. Who would you suggest this to then?
I don't think a modern audience would write the Nazi thing. I still think, I think a lot of people would like this now. I think the sense of humor has shifted. I think dark comedies are far more. I mean, look at Always Sunny is on their 20th season. Like dark comedies, people are more accepting of. People are more understanding of. They get it. I think for the most part. I think that's why Death to Smoochy has had such a cult following. I would recommend this to, I mean, just about anybody. I think even my dad, who hates comedies.
What? Hates comedies?
Yeah, he's just a grumpy guy. I think he would really like Death to Smoochy.
I can see that in you.
Because it gets to such dark places. The comedy is so dark and dry and like mean that I think it would work really for almost anybody, even people that are like, don't like dark comedies necessarily, because the light shines through and kind of Sheldon doesn't, succumb to that darkness is a good lesson and a good theme that I would find it very hard pressed not to recommend this to people. Plus the fact that it just moves. So even like younger people who the TikTok generation who can't concentrate on a single freaking thing anymore.
Whoa. Shots fired.
Even Elise is like that.
Oh.
Yeah, no, she knows it. She knows it. She has to put captions on her shows to watch it now.
Yeah, just tossing her under the bus. Getting everybody. She must not listen to this show.
No, she doesn't listen to anything. I'm waiting. I'm goading her out to bring something. But no, I think that it moves. It's fast. It's got a biting, dark sense of humor. I think that absolutely. I think I would recommend this to pretty much anybody. And then if people said, I don't like it, I would just not talk to them anymore.
Excellent.
It's that simple.
Interesting. I want to go back before we go to why it's forgotten. I want to go back because I wanted to talk about Nora, if you don't mind.
Oh no, I have a question for you as well.
Actually. Okay. So did the Nora character just feel like the love interest to you?
Not at first, and then she did.
Yeah,
because she turned so quick.
So when and I think where this kind of shown through to me watching it was when Sheldon had a problem with her being with other guys. When Randolph at the end tells her, "Oh, she was with this guy, and she was with me, I was with her,"
him, yeah.
And he was like upset, like he was like, "Oh, how could you do this?" Like I was like, "She's an adult, dude."
Yeah,
what did you think?
I thought the same thing. Well, I think it's just the fact that it's all characters, too,
but still, and then she had to explain. You don't understand. They weren't like. I mean, like, why do you have to explain yourself?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't like that. I thought that was really just,
I thought Sheldon being way too upset about that was a little much too. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. She's somebody that is obviously it's somebody who is a strong adversary. She's putting up her guard. She doesn't want to get hurt because she's been hurt before. So she's treating Sheldon like crap. She doesn't like Sheldon.
Right.
And then obviously he breaks through, and I get that. All that stuff works. But I think once they get together, you're right. She just becomes on his arm.
She's way too into him. And it's just like, but some of the stuff should still annoy you. Like it shouldn't all be sunshine and roses.
Yeah. What was your question?
Would you have liked Rainbow Randolph if he was played by Jim Carrey? Like he was originally supposed to?
No. Well, that's a good question. I like Jim Carrey, but I think that I always think Robin Williams is much better.
Oh, Robin Williams is awesome. Yeah.
So I think that when Robin Williams is in a role, I can't see somebody else in it.
True.
Like Good Morning Vietnam. Like I like whenever Robin Williams is in something, I'm just like, no, that's his role. Then there's nobody else that could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of movie we would get with a Jim Carrey one. I don't know if Jim Carrey would be at the time in his career where he could play a character like that.
I feel like it would be very much like The Grinch.
Yeah. It wouldn't be as biting.
Impressions, very stretchy, very.
I don't think he would get dark as Robin Williams did.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Maybe that Jim Carrey. I mean, even like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be different.
Yeah, it would be.
But I think he would have been more of an equal adversary because they'd have been closer in age.
But then he ended up doing that Showtime show, which I didn't watch.
Which also has Catherine Keener in it.
Yeah. Which I never watched.
It's a little too depressing, but it was good. It was well done. Kindness. We're talking about.
It's only one season, though, right? 2 seasons.
Yeah. I watched only the first season.
Did it get canceled or did it wrap up?
I think it got canceled, but I didn't watch the second season.
I'm not going to invest. I'm not going to invest.
They didn't have like huge season finales, though. It's worth watching. It's very different. It's good.
Okay.
It's very similar, though, where the world is crap.
Mm-hmm.
But although Jim Carrey's character is more like a Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, no, I got
he does crack, like he does crack a little bit more than Sheldon does.
Okay.
But he's another person that really tries to make a dent with kindness, as it were.
No,
yeah,
okay.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then why do you think this film's forgotten? Why are we saying it's forgotten?
Well, it's a cult classic. I think some people know this film, but I think some people know this film but haven't watched this film. Like it's something film people talk about. Oh, Death to Smoochy's so good, or I've seen Death to Smoochy, or I know it used to be on like Comedy Central sometimes, but obviously now people don't have cable. It's not on a streamer. You have to rent it. I mean, Edward Norton's a star, and Robin Williams is still known by a lot of people. But especially by younger people, it's been 11 years since his passing, which is really sad and shocking.
Yeah, no. When I watch it, I'm just like, I can't believe he's gone.
Yep. So I think that hurts it. It doesn't have that star power other than the DeVito. Obviously, he's still in Always Sunny. He's still out there. So is Edward Norton.
He's still out there somewhere.
But he's in the popular zeitgeist because of Frank Reynolds. People like Frank. They find him funny. So I think people could discover this, but I don't think enough people have discovered it at the moment. It's like cinephiles like us. We've seen it, really like it.
Am I a cinephile?
I mean, I called a cinephile. I don't like that term.
Am I a cinephile?
You definitely are.
All right. I like it.
But I think that more people should watch it. But I think that's why it's forgotten. I think people know of it, but maybe not necessarily have seen it.
That's fair. I mean, it's definitely a cult film. So you're not gonna. You almost don't want it to be popular because you want to keep it as your own little secret that you show people that, that's the whole thing with cult films.
You ever seen Death to Smoochy? Take this DVD,
but
man.
That's the whole thing with cult films and films that a lot of people don't like. Like that's why I love Hudson Hawk, because everybody hates it, and when I meet somebody that loves it, I'm like, oh, awesome! Like
you're my new best.
You've
friend.
met somebody that you can connect with. Like when I know you love it, and when I met him, and I was like, oh, do you like this? We had so many similar films that we loved. Like it's just like you get that connection with somebody. Like I don't want everybody to like stuff. You know what I mean? Like so. And that's fine. Don't like Death to Smoochy.
Death to Smoochy 2 coming soon.
No,
too many people like.
I doubt it.
I would be interested to see what Sheldon would be like now, in his 50s, to see if he's worn down.
Yeah, but without Randolph, it would bug me. Without Robin Williams, I would be like, man.
You'd have to find like an angle.
Because if let's say if the Rainbow Randolph character, I almost said Ralph again, the Rainbow Randolph character isn't as big of a deal in the movie. Let's say it's not Robin Williams, but it's not a big part. Like they don't keep going back to Randolph. It's just Smoochy.
Right. Is
this movie good? Because there's a lot of comedy. No,
you need that. You need that yin and the yang. You need the evil version of Smoochy. Yeah. Right. No. You need Rainbow Randolph.
Right.
That's not to say that a different show that had Sheldon in the future couldn't do something without having that kind of anti-Smoochy. But you can't have this particular movie without Rainbow Randolph.
All right, cool. Hey, you know what else? This is our last episode of season 20.
Ooh,
this is it. Episode 13.
So sad to see it go.
We're not gonna do this now, but we used to do
plugs and
plugs for like what we do, but I'm not gonna do that.
We haven't done it in like 10
Mike acts, I write. There you go.
There you go.
That's the stuff we do. Mike does books, audio books. I work a job.
And writes novels.
I do. I'm writing one now, but this is not about a plug.
Yeah. So our plugs for our show.
Yeah.
We're Forgotten Cinema. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, or, you're on YouTube watching us right now, wherever you're watching or listening. Like, rate, subscribe, comment, all that stuff really helps. What's your favorite dark comedy film? Let us know in the comments below. If you're really interested, we also have more shows other than just our main show, Forgotten Cinema, which comes out every Wednesday. We have our now showings, which in March, when I believe this is coming out in
Sinners.
March, we are doing Sinners, or we have already done Sinners.
Yep.
The Ryan Coogler film. I don't know what we have. Oh, in April we have Until Dawn and Accounted 2.
Well, yeah. Until Dawn's yes. Until Dawn's going to be also in conjunction with the other thing we're doing.
Right, which we don't have a name.
Jesus.
It's coming up. But we got a lot of stuff coming up, so check all that out.
We're of course doing Mission Impossible 8 Final Reckoning.
That's right, in May. We're not doing all the Mission Impossibles leading up to it though on our lead up.
It's what it is. I would love to do it, but the problem is that there's so many notes and facts with those movies. I'd be like, F this.
We could do one where we do like it's a combined lead up where it's just like talking about the series as a whole.
This is my take that Butler, I kind of think agrees with, that Mission Impossible 4, 5, and 6 are probably one of the better action trilogies in the last 20 years. Would you disagree with that?
No, I love those movies.
I'm talking about 4, 5, and 6. Those 3 films in that in the Mission Impossible universe are a solid trilogy.
Right, Dead Reckoning is 7, right?
Yes.
All right, yeah.
You have to
4,
watch,
5, and 6.
but you have to watch Dead Reckoning again.
I'll watch it again before we go to the new one because I don't remember something.
But like, I'm not watching any trailers. I'm watching the one final trailer for the Final Reckoning.
The Super Bowl was the last trailer I care to watch.
No, I want to see the other stuff.
You want one more trailer?
I want one more trailer because I feel like that stuff they were putting in stuff from the other movies. I want just a trailer about the movie and that's it. I don't want to watch anything. I don't want any behind the scenes stuff. I don't want a special IMAX trailer, how we did some kind of jump. I don't want any of that.
Oh, there's already one.
I'm not watching it.
I already watched it.
Why would you watch it?
Because it was there.
We just talked about how Dead Reckoning, when they did that, they showed you the jump, they ruined it. Now you're going to ruin Final Reckoning.
They don't ruin it this time. They don't show the whole stunt.
You are full of shit because
it's a
I'm
1
not
minute,
watching it. You're not.
It's a 1 minute clip, and they show them setting up for the stunt, but they don't show the stunt.
I'm not watching it before the film. I'm going into the film as cold as possible as I can. You should too.
I'll play it for you right now. So anyway, I don't know how we got there. Check out all the stuff. We have a Patreon. If you want to go on our Patreon and listen to us talk about more stuff, we do our look back films where we look at popular movies, like older popular movies, like we just did our Things, where we talked about all the different Things movies, from Thing from Another World, The Thing 1982, the 2011 film. And in April, we'll start a new thing. Those are Patreon exclusive. So you got to become a member. Yep. Discounts on merch, Discord access, all that kind of good stuff as well on the Patreon. But just like, rate, subscribe, continue watching Forgotten Cinema. Tell everybody about us. Helps just as much.
Mike, show them the mug you have.
I have a Forgotten Cinema mug. You can get this bad boy at our merch shop. It's on Etsy. Look up Forgotten Cinema. You'll go right there, or there's links on our website, ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com as well.
So next week we start season 21. The posters will change behind me. And we are going to be watching the 1994 film Quiz Show, directed by Robert Redford and starring Ralph Fiennes.
I have no idea about this movie.
He is not this. I'm going to tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. This movie is great. And I hope he likes it, because if you don't like good film.
I know nothing about this film, so I'm not even going to look at a poster.
No,
I'm not going to look at a trailer.
Don't worry, because the poster is just the back of Ralph Fiennes with a headset on. It's a really cool poster.
Okay,
but don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to look up anything.
Don't look at it. Don't look it up.
This would be like my first completely blind movie I've ever watched. Good.
And maybe at that we won't know, but like when that episode comes out, Ralph Fiennes could be Academy Award winner. That's true for Conclave, which I recommend you go watch if you have not seen it.
I do want to watch Conclave. Yeah. I also want to watch his Odyssey movie.
All right. Okay. Listen, all right, watch the movies that we do. All right, so that's next week Quiz Show. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting if you do. We really love talking about movies, and even if you don't agree with us, that's completely cool. It's cool with me. I don't know about him, but I'm Mike Field.
I get hurt a little bit, but I enjoy the engagement.
Again, I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler,
and this has been Forgotten Cinema. Take care.
Friends come in all sizes.
That's the fact they do. That's mine.
Is that how they end it?
Yeah. No, that's the line. Hey everyone, thank you for watching our Death to Smoochy episode. If you kind of like those dark comedies, we did another one, Joe versus the Volcano, that is right above me.
And if you want to keep it kind of dark, quirky, kind of weird, we did Nicolas Cage in The Weatherman, which is kind of another dark kind of comedy. So keep it similar. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We are Forgotten Cinema. Have a great one.
Or not. We're not your boss.
Boo. Boo, 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 boo.